Macca, thanks for taking your time to join us after the game. Through to the next round, after a difficult couple of weeks on the road, first and foremost, important to get the win?
Absolutely. Any game of football, it's important to get that victory after, especially after the run that we've been on. We've felt a little bit hard done by in recent weeks, but last week it was very much our own downfall in the closing stages. But we've had a good week, especially at the start of it. Tuesday we trained really hard. We got some good stuff good work into the players, and then as the week continued, we lost a couple of players through the week. Obviously, Tyler Loveholme's going back to his parent club, and Cruz being unavailable today due to family problems. So, it's a great feeling today because we've come here with a slightly kind of depleted squad again, and we've shown real character. I know character's used quite a lot in sport. Sometimes it's overused, but I think today shows what character this group have got. And when they fully believe in themselves and one another, they show a different side of themselves. And we approached the game today slightly differently with trying to get back to our core. We spoke after the last game about the importance of having possession early on in the game and using the ball in the right way. I felt the first 25 minutes especially we had good control of the ball. We were using it relatively well without really hurting the opposition, without really getting into the final third and creating goal scoring opportunities for one reason or another. And then obviously the goal kind of knocks the stuffing out of us a little bit, and we almost slipped back a little bit into being a little bit more direct or a little bit sloppy in our play. And we had a chat at half time about getting back to using the ball and having that real belief. And when the second goal comes from just a long ball down the middle, you kind of like think we're on that slippery slope again, and that little bit of concern starts to set in. But great characters from the lads. We had some real mature performances from the experienced players. I thought Bretty was excellent at the back with some of his organisation and winning his headers. Jack Veal in the second half won a lot more headers, which gave us a bit more of a foothold in the game by being able to get our foot on the ball and create. And we spoke at half time about the fact we hadn't really got a great deal of crosses or shots in that first half, and it was important for us to have end product. And we've seen the last kind of half an hour of that game what happens when we put the ball in the box. When you've got someone like Rocky who's in and around that 6-yard box looking to pounce on anything that drops down, but also try and manufacture shooting opportunities. And his first goal shows exactly what he's about, using his body well to get half a yard and hook it over his shoulder into the net is fantastic, and it gives the boys a lift. Having Rocky in and around things and back available to us it's been fantastic. He got through 90 minutes, which was a bit of a push for him after coming back from injury, but it looks as though he's never been away. So yeah, really pleased with the comeback from the boys. The performance after going 2-0 down and then having that resilience to see the game through was fantastic.
You touch on going goals down. We went 3 down against Dorchester here, and we had to galvanise ourselves to get it back, and then we 2 down today, and we had to come back from 2 down. It'd be nice to just maybe sneak one goal up here and make it a little more comfortable.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it's something that can happen in football. I mean, we talk about having that control and dictating play and getting back to that. And I felt, like I said, that we did that today, and we had some good control in times. But when you have that, the opposition sit in that shape, you are always open on the counter attack. That was some of our downfall last season, and it was almost as if that the first 20 minutes, yes, we had lots of possession, but we almost got players in too far ahead of the ball at times. We were settled in possession, but the more passes we made, the more people we started to commit forward, and we left gaps, and that's where the second goal comes about a little bit. And even when we're 2-1 down, Mac is called into action 2 or 3 times, and key saves on the counter. So fantastic work from him, great attitude, and his saves has allowed us to go on and win that game today. And like you say, going goals down is sometimes just part and parcel of football, but it's something that we are aware of. It's something that we're trying to adapt our play, having more control, as we say, utilising the ball, but can we penetrate in the right areas, and also when we're attacking, avoid overcommitting players forward, and if we're going down the right, squeeze players over from the left to ensure that we've got that cover and balance. And it's something that the boys have got to organise a little bit better, something that we can organise from the side as well to try and make it happen. But that goal, the first goal is a long ball turnover and then just a quick counter attack, which like I said, it stung us a couple of times last season. It's something that we're aware of, and we're doing everything we possibly can to try and make sure that doesn't happen, so we have a little bit more of a controlled game. It would be nice, like you say, to have that controlled game where we can go 1-0 up and we can have a little bit of possession. But this league and the teams in this league, I know it's not a league fixture, but it's a team from this league, so we know that any team in this league can cause you real problems because of the variation in style of play. So we have to be adaptable, and hopefully today's win is that little bit of acknowledgement to the quality that we have got in the squad. Despite that we're missing one or two, we have got that resilience, we have got that physicality, and we have got that belief in ourselves to go on and put in performances even when the chips are down.
The chips were, personally for me, reflecting on those 7 or 8 days on the road, it's devastating the way it all unfolded and happened in the late goals. But for you, I know you're a winner and you care so much. What's it like sort of riding that wave of the way those 3 games played out? And personally for you, I know you talk about the players, but personally for you, it must, as a manager, how does it affect you?
It's massively tough. My first experience of management, and we all love winning and we love celebrating the player successes, and when you have a run like we've just been on, and it's something like 7 games without a win in the league, and struggling to put those points together after a positive start up against some tough teams, and I'm not going to lie, the last week has been tough. As a manager, you take it personally. You shoulder that burden, and you try and take the pressure off the players, and try and give them that inner belief and that desire, despite that things aren't going well. And I have been grumpy. I've been a nightmare at home. And I feel from a family having to part with me, because I'm not an enjoyable person to be around when it's like that. And it's being able to park that. I had a chat with 1 or 2 people on the importance of parking it at the end of the week and enjoying your Sunday with your family. I think that's really, really important. And but the fact that I care, I think it comes across to the players a little bit. And we see in there that players proper care. I've had a chat with Bretty today, and he cares, and he's a winner as much as I am. I've spent some of my playing career with him as a player, and I know that we've got similar mindsets. And it's just making sure that the players show more than anything, they show that they care. They show that they're willing to do what it takes in order to make the fans that turn up here week in, week out proud of our performances. And like I say, it's 1 win. It's 1 win in the cup. There's no points on this one, but it's got to be very much a building block, very much a confidence boost for us to have another good week. Have a look at potentially bringing in some reinforcements where we need it, because we have been a little bit light over the last couple of weeks because 1 or 2 players have left and gone back to their parent clubs. But we've got to use that as a real shot in the arm and head into Saturday with a real belief, real confidence, and a point to prove in the league.
Macca, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much. See you next Saturday
No
for another big game.
Thanks very much.